Hi lovelies and welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that is funny. It brought me back because a year ago when I started posting videos kind of like in this more just sitting down talking podcast kind of format, one of the videos that I posted is going to be very similar to this one because I'm facing the same issue. And I realized that in that video I was also wearing sunglasses, and I literally said something about like, yeah, I'm wearing sunglasses because it's about to get shady in here. And I think this episode is different. I'm wearing sunglasses because the sun has illuminated the truth and the path for me. And there's no need for me to go into the shadows and deal with the situation in a shadowy, low vibrational way because I've been living and reliving the same cycle without exposing anything. I think the biggest like outlook of this whole situation is the importance of being where you're valued and prioritizing relationships that value your worth and really take care of you and hold space for you. Hi, lovelies. I did in the beginning of the video say it wasn't gonna get shady, but it indeed did get pretty shady. And I did expose quite a few things that I don't think should be on the internet, and that left it a little bit too obvious of the situation that I was speaking about. And I never want that video to find anybody and hurt that person. So I decided to remove those clips and return in a more uplifting, more directed message through this voice memo, and just really talk to you guys about the importance of being valued and respected. I mentioned the water bottle theory that I watched a video on recently. I'll try to insert the video of the girl that I saw talking about it here if I can figure out how to do that. But it's basically a theory of the different values that can be attributed to a water bottle in the many diverse places that it's sold, and the value that that water holds in each place, and how much you're willing to pay for that water bottle in the place that you are, and how much you're willing to just go somewhere else and buy another water bottle depending on the place that you are if it's too overpriced. And I've lately been facing quite a few hurdles in my relationship aspects and realizing that there's some friendships that will bring out the best in you, that will love you, heal you, take care of you, that will walk through the darkest parts of your life with you and love you regardless, hold your hand when it gets hard, and support you and love you and believe in you when you don't believe in yourself, and be there to incentivize you to be better every step of the way and to offer you that loving support, but that we should always cultivate within ourselves. And I think once you get to a point of creating that beautiful relationship with yourself, when you go analyze your relationship with others, it becomes quite easy to compare what they're offering you in regards to what you're offering yourself. And if you're offering yourself love, compassion, empathy, support, when you're dealing with a friendship that is offering you sometimes envy, hate, that is mistreating you in front of others, that is putting you down purposefully or unconsciously, that is judging you and bringing you down instead of offering all the beautiful things that I mentioned before, it becomes pretty hard for you to digest and to remain in that place with that person that is treating you in that way, which is perfectly natural and normal. So that's what I was talking about in this video. That I know that being in toxic relationships and in toxic places, it's hard for you to get to the conclusion of what that truly means. Because that person will never be 100% bad, and no one will ever be 100% good. But there is a big difference in how people are treating you and how you feel after having interactions with those people. I'll link in the top right corner a video that I was talking about energetic connections and the impact that the people that are around us have on our energy, on how we view ourselves, and basically overall on the outcome of our life. And the little seeds that the people around us plant in our mind can really flourish into beautiful gardens or really detrimental weeds. And that has to be taken for account and looked at very carefully. People will always show us who they are, and sometimes we choose not to believe them. It's important to look within and to realize, why are we holding on to something that is hurting us? It's kind of like, it seems ridiculous to say like masochistic, but it kind of is. And I know that we always want to hold on to like the good and the nice moments with someone, but look at it for what it truly is. People that love you and care for you won't be mistreating you, hating you, treating you super poorly, and making you feel like absolute shit. That's not true friendship. I think I just had to say that. And it's sad because I know that sometimes you want to keep those people around, but I think it's important to look within and try to understand why. Just to bring a little bit of context before I return into like me speaking in the video, I was talking a lot about a specific friendship that I have that has really hurt me throughout the past few years, and that I've talked to you guys about that situation quite a few times on my channel. And it's kind of like I'm reliving the same cycle. I don't know if I'm gonna mention this soon or if I should say this now, but I'm kind of lactose intolerant, and there's like a specific whey drink that I used to like be absolutely obsessed with. And every so often I drink it again because I've forgotten that when I was obsessed with it, I realized that it caused me to have immense stomach issues, if you get what I'm throwing at you guys. And every few months I drink it again and I have the same stomach issue, and then I forget about it, and then I'm like, oh wow, I used to love this so much, let me drink it, and then the cycle keeps repeating itself. So this video is basically me hopefully closing out a cycle of a lot of mental energy and sadness, and reliving a cycle that has caused me harm one too many times, and cultivating a friendship that, although I have beautiful moments with this friend, does bring me a lot of sadness. And I'm gonna return to me actually speaking in the video in the next few seconds, but just to give a little bit more context for you guys to not be lost, I was comparing how that friend that I'm talking about made me feel and how my amazing best friends come and nurture me in comparison. Okay, I just watched back the next clip and I realized that you guys need a little bit more context to make it make sense. I've told you guys, hi if it's your first time watching me, but I've told you guys a lot in the past that I'm celibate, and my views on intimacy have changed a lot through the years, and I think in a like instinct of self-protection, I've really retreated into protecting myself in this way and waiting patiently to find a person that brings me the safety that I need to engage in sex and connection. It's been a long time for me. I think it's been 7 years, and it's funny to say this, but it's kind of like I'm losing my virginity all over again because it's been so long. And it's kind of like that mindset when you're like, I don't have sex for the first time with just anybody. I want it to be special. And I've had sex with someone in the past and then realized that they might be like one of the worst people I have ever met and have done some horrible things to people that I love dearly. And that brought me so much like mental anguish to know that I opened up myself in such a vulnerable way to someone that was so horrible, and my energy mixed with his energy, and that honestly makes me want to like jump off a cliff of like mental stress. Like the possibility of that happening just honestly makes me sick to my stomach. And I know that we can't stay stuck on the past and reliving cycles. I think maybe as a Pisces, I have the tendency to kind of do that, but I'm starting to realize that I can let this all go and it's fine. It has shaped my vision of the world, but it doesn't have to define how I interact with the world. But I've learned to respect this newfound, I think the actual word might be respect for myself, and realizing that my body, my temple, and my life and my energy source is so sacred that it deserves to be shared with people that I deem special. And I shouldn't let anybody try to shame me for this or pressure me into anything. And I have a friend, the friend that I'm talking about having difficulties with, that has shamed me in lots of different ways about this and has caused me to push myself into a situation where I tried to engage in this before I was ready. And all I have to say is that maybe it's okay. I was struggling so much with the fact, like, oh, I'm in my 20s, I should be going out and having sex and whatever. But I had to be completely honest with you guys. I'll 100 times over rather use my vibrator than have sex with a man that doesn't value me, respect me, care for me, have the minimum interest in my needs and my desires. And I'll stand by that and I'll die on that hill because I think sex is something sacred and that should be shared with the right people and people that really see us and value us and nurture us. And I don't think we should let anybody tell us otherwise. Obviously, it's amazing to engage in whatever you desire, but if you don't desire, that is something else. And I realize that it's perfectly normal to only feel desire to have sex when you're in a connection with someone that you appreciate, and I'm learning to value that within myself instead of trying to push myself to be something that I'm not. I guess what I'm really trying to get across, I think I've been talking about this in the past few videos actually. I keep trying to move on, but there's something that I feel that I have left unsaid, and I guess the fact that we're so unique and we're gonna live according to our needs and our desires, and that is completely different to anybody else's needs and desires, purely means that it doesn't matter how much advice you're receiving from the many sources that you may be receiving it from. The only thing that really matters is what speaks to your soul and what you specifically need, and learning to find the wisdom within to trust that. Even if the world outside of you is telling you to go one way or another way and that you're wrong and you're right, the only person that truly knows is yourself. And I know nowadays it can be pretty scary to decide to embark on the journey being your best companion. And it's so much easier to think about how life could be with a support system, being that in a friendship or a relationship. But there's something very magical and lighthearted about it being you and you knowing that you can trust yourself. Trusting yourself is a whole different thing. Some people can't trust themselves because they don't act in a trusting way with themselves. They let bad people around them, they make poor choices knowing that it's the wrong choice, and they engage in things knowing that that thing is truly going to be detrimental to their mental, physical health. So when we develop that kind of relationship with ourselves and we can't even trust ourselves, then the seed gets planted that who can we actually trust if we can't even trust ourselves? And that's like a whole nother story. But I know that there might be people out there that are sad because they feel friendless, and I've gone through seasons of feeling friendless and truly feeling by myself. Even though I wasn't truly, that's how I felt, and I can relate to that. I've gone through these last past years of being single. There were some moments where I truly did feel alone and feel that emptiness of how would my life be if I had someone. And then I realized that if I had someone, I would still feel that whole. And that's something I can fix and fill by myself with my presence, with my life force, and with habits and a life that I truly value living. And no relationship, friend, or boyfriend can give that to you. Only you will be able to give that to yourself. And I think that might be one of the most beautiful things in life. Learning that everything that we ache for and we desire and we long for, it's basically our soul telling us to go after it and find it for ourselves and give it to us in a way that no one will ever be able to take from you. And I guess that's the simple beauty of life. Finding all that you need within you and finding people that will celebrate you, your life, your choices, and the unique qualities that make up who you are, and just really cherish you, admire you, and applaud you every step of the way. Even when you're being a little bit, there's always things to celebrate and find those people. And trust me when I say those people are out there and just as excited to find you as you're excited to find them. And it will be worth the wait. Don't settle or take too much of your time, energy, and space with people that don't deserve you. Because then when the right people come along, you won't have space for them energetically in your life. And that's just sad. Look of the water bottle and being valued in different places. I talked to my friends about some of my absolute best friends from high school that I told them the exact same things that I was telling this other friend, and their reaction was completely different. They saw me, they understood, and they valued where I was coming from. They held space for me and comforted me and basically told me that they understood why I was happening this way, the way that it was happening, and that it was okay to feel like this. That they wouldn't be far off if they were also in this situation, and that everything was going to work out fine, that I only had to take care of myself, and everything that was happening in my life was perfectly normal. And I don't know, guys, I just love my friends so much, and I think that's the difference between having friends that will hold you when you need to be held and love you and take care of you and admire you and cheer for you and pick you up when you fall, and friends that will push you down and kick you when you're down. And don't be afraid to walk away and open up more space in your life and your heart for the friendships that love you, that truly love you. Because someone that loves you doesn't treat you like shit. So I think I just want to emphasize how much the people that you choose to have in your life impact your perception of things. We all exist in a very specific world that is molded by our experiences, our lives, our connections, our visions, and our perspective of the world. And you can bring people into reality that will be there applauding, happy, valuing all that you've constructed for yourself, and understanding where you were, where you're going, where you are. And you can have people that will just choose to not look at any of that and just shit on you. It's kind of like that thing, like I'm not where I want to be. I'm not exactly where I expected I would be, but I'm so much further than where I was. And you can have someone around you supporting you and loving you and being like, oh, I'm so proud of how far you've come. Like, congrats, let's keep going. Like, you're doing great. Or you can have someone in your life that's going to be like, you're shitty. And I don't believe in you. Look at where you are. You're nowhere where you're supposed to be. You're nowhere near where you want to be. Choose wisely, guys, because our mind is truly so powerful, and people plant little seeds of envy, of greed, of nastiness, and the more that you are like fed those seeds, they start growing in your mind, and at one point they get like into really big trees if you let the people water them enough. And that might change your whole vision upon your life and really alter the trajectory of your life for the worse. So be really careful, be really mindful, and if you're like me in a moment of maybe I should walk away, maybe this person isn't the best for me, maybe if you're thinking about it, take the leap, because the amounts of times that I decided to give it another chance and give it another chance and give it another chance and got really hurt, each time more hurt, it's never worth it. People don't change like this. And people only change if they want to. You're not going to change what fundamentally makes someone who they are. So be careful. Cultivate connections that nurture you and love you and take care of you. And run away from everything that tears you down and hurts you. I love you. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.